Welcome everybody. It is Crypto Moose, and the Moose is trying to get the desk set in place. Maybe a bit higher. About right here. Perfect. So what we're going to do today is talk about 5 tips that you should look into if you are new to cryptos. So it's going to be 5 tips for newcomers. I have it right here on the screen. But first, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Mitchell Bouchard, your crypto and NFT investor. I'm just like all of you, trying to learn more every day and every week about cryptos and NFTs. I wanted to mention as well that we do have online courses. So if you want to dive even further into cryptos and NFTs, take an online course. We have links in the description below. We're also going to provide coupon codes for you so you can get up to 90% off. So very simple, very easy there. And as well, if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is what's going to help grow the channel. And I think you're all going to like this video, especially for those of you that are new to crypto. This is going to be an absolute banger for you all. So we're going to be a little more serious on today's episode. So let's get into it. So what are the 5 steps? And I recommend taking a screenshot. Maybe you can write these down on a piece of paper. I do recommend that you do have a pen and a piece of paper. I have one right here. And you take some notes. Okay, so take some notes. Write down these 5 things, especially if you've never done them before. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Number 1 is going to be wallet setup. You want to learn how to set up a crypto wallet. And in particular, you want to learn how to set up a non-custodial wallet. Okay, so you will see a non-custodial wallet, and the reason being is because you want to own your private keys, which we'll get into in just a second. So there are 2 main wallet types, and then it goes into a division of 3 wallet types. So the first 2 is going to be a hot wallet or a cold wallet. And that's just to explain that some wallets are exposed online, so they're more prone to attacks. And then a cold wallet will be something like a Trezor or a Ledger or a paper wallet. Now, the other side of it is custodial and non-custodial. Custodial is when a company, for example, let's say you're Coinbase, and you set up a Coinbase account or a Binance account. They are going to own your private keys. So if that company ever goes under, if something happens, good luck getting access to your cryptos. The fact that I have a Trezor, so this is what it looks like. This is going to be a self-custodial wallet or a non-custodial. Custodial means that the company holds custody of the wallet for you. It's convenient, but at the end of the day, you don't really own what it is that you have. It's not going to be in your possession. So we'll talk about that a little bit more as well. But learn how to set up a wallet. If you've never done this before, of course, cryptocurrencies are going to seem very difficult. There will be a big gap between where you are and where you want to go because you've never done it before. That's what I highly recommend. Learn to set up a non-custodial. So how can you do this? Very simple. I recommend going to exodus.com. They have tons of great wallets, and this is where you're going to learn to back up your private keys. Okay, so we'll talk about that right now. We might as well dive in. So you have the differences here between your public and private keys. So self-custodial, I'm going to add one more thing. You can do an Exodus wallet. You could also do, for example, a Trezor. So that would be a hardware wallet or a Ledger. All right. This would be self-custody. All right. Now, these would be better because you own your private keys in a cold storage fashion. So Exodus, while it is non-custodial, it's your assets are going to be a little more exposed online. For example, if you have a wallet like I do up here or like a MetaMask, these could get, somebody could sign a transaction and send these tokens away. But I also use a Trezor. So I have different accounts. This wallet is a little bit weaker. Whereas this Trezor, in order to sign a transaction, you would need a device. So without getting too complex into it, learn to set up your own wallet, and if you can, pick up a hardware wallet. So number 2, public and private keys. Very simple. Public keys is kind of like your email. You can share this with the world. It's fine. That's what gives somebody the ability to send you assets. So for example, when you set up an Exodus wallet, in your wallet, you will have public addresses. Similar to my NAMI here, this is just a Cardano based wallet. If I go to receive, this is my public address. Okay, it's quite difficult to get to your private keys. They're also in the form of a 12-word or 24-word recovery seed phrase. So for example, if Exodus, when you set up your wallet, if they ask you for your 12 or 24-word seed phrase, do not give it to them. That is a scam. It's somebody posing as Exodus or a different entity. Do not give them anything. Nobody under any circumstances are going to ask you for your private keys. Your public key is fine, because in order to send somebody crypto, you have to get their public address or public key, send the funds to that public address. Once the funds, the assets, tokens, NFTs, or fungible assets, once they hit the public address, it gets stored into their wallet. That's how that works. All right, so public, private keys. Remember, public, you can share, yes. Private, hence private, do not share. And back up, okay? It's very simple. We have tons of videos here on the channel. We go through each of these steps. We have videos on how to set up wallets, the differences between public and private keys. I'm just trying to do this in a timely fashion. So sending and receiving tokens. So we've gone over that. Just remember those things. And again, make a checklist. If you've never done any of these, start with the first one. That's why I have it in this order. Number 3 is sending and receiving. I just went over that. For example, you have a Bitcoin wallet. If you want to send Bitcoin to somebody else, you as the key holder of the private keys, because you own the private keys, you are the one that's allowed to sign the transaction. So you're going to hear the term signing a transaction. Let's say I wanted to send somebody Cardano. Well, I would go to my send. I would put in, for example, a wallet address like this. Say it's a different account. And I can sign the transaction because I own the private keys, which are held in the wallet for the most part. Now, if you have something like a Trezor, you can sign transactions through the suite. But the idea of a Trezor is you have to physically touch the touch screen, or with a ledger. I have a ledger on my keys. So if anybody tries to mug me and get my ledger, good luck. I'm going to fight back. But anyways, I am exposing that. If you get a hold of my Trezor, you have to know the PIN, and it adds another layer of protection. So that's the idea of a hardware wallet. It's nothing new in the fact that it's just a wallet, but it adds another layer of protection with the PIN in knowing, in physically needing the device, right? So that's the idea of a hardware wallet. It makes it more difficult, and we'll talk about that. So to receive crypto, you want to send somebody either your QR code, okay? And that's the same as these numbers. So a public and private key looks very similar. If we go to Bitcoin address, here's bitaddress.org. We're just going to generate a new wallet. So if you want to create a paper wallet, you can do that at bitaddress. You just got to like move your cursor around and whatnot. But I want to go through the differences. This is the best way to do it. So here you go. Here's an example. You can share your public address, but your private key you do not. So here, if we were to create a wallet, we'll do a single wallet. We'll just regenerate a new one. So we just created a wallet. Let's say you printed this off. You share this one with the green. And the secret is your private. They look same. The QR code represents this for your private. Public, it represents this. Okay, so that's for Bitcoin. Every wallet, it'll look a little bit different. Cardano, it will start with like AADR. And yeah, that's the premise of it. It's very simple. It's not that complicated, but just don't get them confused. So sending and receiving, use your public. The only reason you ever want to show your private keys on your screen or even to look at them is when you're regenerating a wallet. So you're importing to recover your wallet, or when you're first setting up a wallet. Always back it up on a piece of paper, lock it away. Don't even tell anybody about it. So same thing with the Trezor, right? Back it up on metal if you can. I do that in online courses. Okay, so very simple. Number 4, let's try to speed this up. I only got a few more minutes left. Research the top 10 coins, projects. What you're going to do is go to CoinMarketCap. You can go to CoinGecko, research the project. So the way you're going to find that is by market cap. So you can go to CoinMarketCap, look at the top 10. You could even do top 15 if you want. There's some great projects here. But if you do the top 10, Tron's doing well, you will have a good understanding. Nobody, for the most part, even knows what the top 10 projects are. There's a very small percentage of you that actually have researched and put in the time to understand the top 10 blockchains. Most of you couldn't even name them. Get to a point where you could name the top 5, then the top 10, and understand their values, what they provide. Understand what XRP does, what USDC does. Understand what a stablecoin can provide. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not telling you to get into crypto, but understand it. Understand Bitcoin. If you're going to go through anything, take a week where you learn over the course of 30-minute sessions and educate yourself on Bitcoin. Nobody really knows. I know. I do online courses on this. Nobody knows. Understand what decentralization is. Understand how wallets work. Understand why Bitcoin worked and why it's so valuable today. It's going to help you out a lot, okay? That's what I recommend. These are great tips. So the next one, avoid scams. How can you avoid scams? Well, the number one thing that you can do is think to yourself, if you are a scammer, how would you scam somebody? Think about this in the sense of, let's say you're going to break into somebody's home. You're not going to break into somebody's home if there are people in the home, if there's a dog there. So add a level of security if you can. Get a hardware wallet. It's so much more difficult for somebody to take your cryptos if you have a hardware wallet. For example, I have a wallet up here, a NAMI. All right, let's say I set up a wallet. If somebody gets access to this online and they send coins to themselves, I'm screwed. If they get my password, I'm finished. Right? If you get my password, you gain access somehow, I'm finished. But with the Trezor, with this device, you would need the physical device and you would have to know my PIN that I added. So you would need to know the PIN. It makes it more difficult. Make it more difficult for yourself to be attacked. So what are the other ways that people attack you? So here we'll put CoinMarketCap. And we're going to wrap it up here. Avoid scams. What you can do is make it difficult. Get a hardware wallet. Get a Trezor. The other thing you can do is emails. Have more privacy in emails, okay? So I would do these things, okay? So those are the top 5 tips. Another one for avoiding scams too is do not fall for phishing emails. People are going to act as a sexy lady or a good-looking dude, and they're going to be like, hey, I don't know, give me your information. And people get scammed all the time. So be wary of that, and those are the top 5 tips. So smash the like button, subscribe if you enjoyed this, and we have links in the description below for online courses. It'll help you out even more. So with that being said, moose is loose. Cheers, everybody.